So let's talk about all the new news that's new to a lot of people, new to most people about with what's going on with Diddy. Now, this is the only time I want to speak about it because it's not interesting to me. It's not surprising to me. And I know a lot of people are just enamored with all these details that are coming out, all these salacious details and this, that, and the other. And it's not surprising to me. And the reason it's not surprising or interesting to me, well, one of the reasons is because it's all politics. And if you look back on your life, if you deal with people in any capacity, really, there's politics involved. And what I mean by politics is you have to do this in order to get to that. So a real quick story, in the early to mid 90s, I was in the military and I was stationed out in 29 Palms, California. So me and some of my military buddies, we made it a point to we're gonna go sightsee or go see entertainment or see whatever we can see throughout Southern California or wherever it takes us in California. And so every so often we would, if you didn't know, 29 Palms is a desert. What was it? Maybe 3 hours away from Los Angeles, which Hollywood is in Los Angeles. And we would just visit. We'd go Palm Springs, Los Angeles, Hollywood, Riverside, San Bernardino, Universal Studios, Magic Mountain. We would go to all those places. And so keep in mind, this is in the I was out there from 1992 to 1996. And so I met a young lady who was brand new in that type of industry. Met her, we getting to know each other, blah, 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 such and such. One of my questions was, tell me something about Hollywood that most people wouldn't know. So me, I'm real young. I really haven't experienced nothing. This is really the first time I've been away from home for any period longer than like a week. And then all of a sudden I'm all the way on the West Coast in California, which is a 5-6 hour flight from where I was born and grew up. So all these type of allegations and rumors and innuendo is what she was telling me about this Diddy stuff. You know, at the time, my mouth dropped. Are you serious? And compared to some of the things that's coming out now about Diddy, what she was telling me was like tame at the time, but it was still among some of the same guidelines or what have you. But some of the stuff that they allege about Diddy Diddy stuff is turned up to 10 compared to what she was telling me. But again, remember, she was new to the industry, so maybe she didn't see as much. But some of the stuff she was telling me was just some of the same things. She was like, well, it's really not about your talent. It's about who you know, and depending on how far you want to go, what you're willing to do to get there. You can parallel that to politics, because I guarantee you, every single politician that has achieved anything of stature in politics, they got dirt on. It's politics. And that's just the way it is. And so I can even equate that to my current normal everyday job. I've been at this job for 12 years. For 8 out of the 12 years, I was in management. And the number one thing I learned about management, to advance, it's politics. It's how much we got a code switch at some point. I really understand that. That's just the way of life in America. How many times, how much are you willing to code switch? You have to be cognizant. You have to make people feel comfortable. You may even have to tell them lies. And you got to do all this stuff. And if you don't do these things, you can only get but so far. Those who have made it to the top, not all. Any conversation I have is never all, generally speaking. But those who have made it to what you would think is the top, imagine the politics that they have played, which is they have smoothed up to someone, they got in good with this person, and then that person said, hey, let me introduce you to my friend, kind of like the mob guys, you know? This is my friend such and such, this, that, and the other. And then it's just all about playing politics. Now, at my position, thus far, like I said, I've been in retail 12 years. I've been in this position where I'm at for 4 years. And it's because I'm just not willing to play politics. I just don't want to do it. And even at the level that I'm at, I look at the pay opposed to getting promoted. The pay is really just not that different. So I choose not to play politics because that's being fake. And I do understand that, again, it's a choice to deal with other people. But the greatest thing about that is you can choose to deal with people with whatever level you're on. So I'm at the level that I'm at is one step above the bottom. So that means I only have to deal with people to a certain extent or to a certain level. My level above me is I got to deal with more people, more personalities, more problems, different things that trigger them, different attitudes, and all that type of stuff. Of course, the higher you go, you deal with all that and then 10 times more. At the point in my life right now, I just choose not to play politics. And speaking of that, even at work, I'm well versed in politics, like real politics, politicians. And I hear certain people talk about politics at work. I just choose not to engage because most of the people that I hear talk about politics, they just sound like parrots. They were on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or Facebook and they heard somebody say something and only thing they're doing is repeating it. They just don't even believe in what they're saying. They believe what the mainstream news media tells them, because my thinking is if I got involved with actual politics talk with these people, it would trigger them. And then they'd probably try to report and do all this type of stuff. But yeah, so yeah, that's why I'm not interested in talking about this Diddy situation. And I'm not surprised about it. It's not interesting to me at all. All these salacious details that are coming out, I'm like, okay, Besides the legal things or the illegal things, I don't see what's wrong with what he doing. If you got consenting adults and if you have consenting adults to do all this stuff and it's legal, I really don't see what the problem is. I tell you what, I'd never do it. All the drugs and all this other stuff that they saying that stuff going on, even the gay stuff. I mean, so what? If it's consenting adults and it's legal, y'all have at it over there. I'll be on the other side of town. So y'all have fun.